All right, Tets. It's your turn. What you got?
Well, movie came out.
The gnome movie, right? With the dancing gnomes, the naked gnomes for the kids.
Giant robot gnomes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
God.
You know I was gonna do it. You knew it was coming.
I didn't even know that was a movie, to be perfectly honest. I wasn't sure if you were
Romeo and
just making
Juliet.
shit up.
Thank you, Mal. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Legitimately thought you were just pulling something.
I saw the I saw the movie poster the other day driving by the theater.
Going to talk about an actually legitimate, awesome movie. Pacific Rim Uprising came out.
Pacific Rim
2 weeks ago. Two Fridays ago. I went until the Saturday after it came out.
I mean, it had giant robots.
Yeah, giant robots.
All you really need.
Like, you could hand me anything, and as long as there's giant robots involved, I'm probably going to be okay with it. Like, just exaggeration, but not entirely. Yeah, it did have its what you would expect a sequel of Pacific Rim to have, because it's not like the first one was all that I guess there was definitely giant leaps of the imagination you had to take in order to get to your giant robots punching giant monsters, which I was happy to take. I know a lot of people weren't as keen on it, but
yeah, I remember going into the first movie like, I expect to see giant things fighting. That's all I really expect, and that's what I got. So I was happy.
And if that's what you approach this one with, you will also be happy. How did I word this before when I was describing it? They recognized that it was a bit of a weakness of theirs, trying to... It's really going to be hard to give you a sound foundational story and that can offer what they're trying to offer. So they kind of swept the story explanation stuff a little more under the rug than they did in the first one. One of the freaking not Gypsy. Yeah, that's it. Not Gypsy Danger. Blah. Anyway, the new Gypsy in this one has a freaking gravitational beam that it can fire at like cars and like the road and stuff, and collects it into a giant mace. So, a bit more
crazy
not
weapons.
Entirely going.
You can tell from the trailer.
But they're also not really going to bother with explaining the science behind it in the same way they did in the first one. They're not as worried about explaining away what's going on, and they're just kind of like, okay, people that are coming to see the sequel to this just want to see giant robots fighting giant monsters.
They want Mecha versus Kaiju, the movie. The RPG, the movie.
Figure out what we have to do to give them that. And exactly, be easy to spot. And if you know that, and again, you walk into this knowing that you're just wanting to see giant robots punching giant monsters, that's fine. That kind of thing bothers, no matter how much you try to get past it. You might not want to go see Pacific Rim Uprising. Then again, you might not have wanted to go see the first one, so...
Yeah. I want to see it. I just don't know if I want to go to the theater and see it.
Right. I mean, the first one had some...
No, I love the first one.
Decent characters and whatnot. Like,
this is all new characters and stuff, though, right?
Yeah, mostly all new characters, and the ones that return aren't... They're... to the plot line, they're not much on screen. They're not
it's like cameos.
I don't even know that I would call it cameos as much as for example, I'm blanking on his name.
The main guy from the first one.
from Star Wars. Freaking
John Boyega.
Oh, yeah.
Boyega. God, my brain just like shut down there. Boyega's character. He is the son of
Idris Elba's character.
yes.
Gotcha.
And then obviously the connection there is that he's also Mako's adopted brother, I guess, because she was adopted by Pentecost. And so they kind of play off of those two characters being in his life.
Is that his
direction.
co-pilot?
No, those bits, but the co-pilot issue, I feel like is better drama than the co-pilot issue that they did in the first movie. There's a lot more invested, I guess, in this one, but Pentecost is dead by the end of the first movie, so he's there in the sense that he drives the story, but he's not really being a cameo, I guess. It's just kind of where I was trying to go with that. Raleigh doesn't make an appearance at all. He's mentioned a few times, but you don't see him at all. So the characters are there, but only enough to make you believe that this is a continuation. This is a shared universe, as opposed to even full-on cameo. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I loved
So-
it because, I mean, it's me,
Oh,
but
what was that?
Go on, Teds.
I loved it because it was me, but
Yeah. I mean, it's got a lower score than the original. Like,
as much
it
as
seems
when I
to be-
first saw it, I was like, no, it's not a 6, but it kind of really is.
The original is a 6.9.
Hey man,
by
I
the
like
way.
schlocky movies too. It's fun.
And that's the thing too. You really kind of have, again, as long as you're approaching it with that mind, like it's not something that you would ever think is going to be winning any type of awards anytime soon, unless the award is movie with the most badass robot. Then,
It's like
yeah.
watching an AMV. You know what you're getting into.
Yeah, exactly. That being said,
How do they explain the kaiju coming back?
go with this. I think they did an amazing job. It's something that I didn't see coming, but is totally believable, and to me didn't feel shoehorned in at all. At first it starts to feel that way until the movie keeps going and you realize how many layers deep this plot to bring the kaiju back was.
So it was someone trying to bring them back.
Yeah, I'll
Huh.
go ahead and answer that bit, but I'm not.
Just
I
leave
don't-
it there.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. Like I
It's
wish
been out a
someone
while,
told
It's
me
not,
how-
whatever.
but it's not the kaiju getting back themselves, basically.
He's like, meh.
Yes and no. Like, that's the thing. Like it's legitimately yes and no.
So hard to answer that.
He
without
gives them
being
the
spoilers.
means for the kaiju to bring themselves back.
Because so you remember I forget what they call them now, the precursors or whatever, the people that were like building the or the entities that were building the kaiju.
Not really.
The first movie, like when they go through the breach and they detonate Gypsy Danger and everything, it was revealed that there was like these I forget what the race was called, but essentially this alien race that colonized worlds and then like just devoured everything on it and then went on to the next one. But the way that they like prepped it for themselves was by sending the kaiju in first to wipe all the life off the planet. And so they've orchestrated a way to come back
I see.
that remained at the end of the first movie.
How do the fights compare?
Better, I think. Very good.
That's like something that's definitely you want to know going into this kind of movie.
The fights were very well done. They introduced a few other lines of but not only do you get more marks, but within like the marks, because I don't know how much you really remember. They had like the Mark 1s, Mark 2s. I think Gypsy Danger was a Mark 3, and Eureka Striker, the one that was digital that got shocked out by the giant ape thing, he was a Mark 5. But you see a Mark 6 and a Mark 7 in this one as well. 5 different frames you see in
More
the movie?
variants in the mechs? in
Yeah,
this
there's
one?
more. Yeah, and so
That's cool.
the fight scenes, they start allowing more And they do more cool things besides just the one fight scene in the first one where multiple people work together and then, you know, 3 of them get crushed right from the start. And it was very it was great for tension, but it was kind of a letdown for that. You wanted that fight. This definitely delivers. One of them, Athena Phoenix, I say she because the mech is designed like a she. It's very fast, very agile, dual wields katanas, and there's definitely a scene where she's parkouring off of buildings to like do flippy, kicky, slicey thingies to the kaiju. So I mean, like full on ninja robot. You know, so the ridiculousness kind of ramps up, but again, it's kind of along those lines of we're just going to give you guys even sweeter fights because that's why you're here. Let's be honest. I will say one of the things that they focus on are cadets being trained. So to a degree, it also starts being like Pacific Rim High School Edition in some of the non-mech scenes. And then it comes into play, and the actual piloting of them is that kids are bickering over things that kids bicker over, as opposed to more adult reasons why 2 people wouldn't necessarily be drift compatible. But it was fun. Like that wasn't necessarily a problem. It was just a different feel for it. And I think it was again kind of that concession that they recognize in their audience and being more willing to cater to that particular demographic. I think that they did a good job doing that. I don't think it was shoehorned in or anything. I didn't think it was necessarily unnecessary or anything like that.
It's just making you want to run Mecha versus Kaiju again, right?
Oh, absolutely. I got so many ideas.
We haven't completely decided on a monthly module for April yet. I would be fine with that.
So,
yeah.
I guess good news for it. I don't know. Its budget was 150 million to 176 million. I guess it's not 100% locked in, but its box office so far is 233 million. So
it's a movie that would do very well overseas.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
So it's made over its budget, which is always a good sign for even possibility.
We'll probably get a third one.
Yeah,
if it keeps just doing better and better.
Because I know in the original one, like, they had so much material that they didn't use. Now this one was, it wasn't directed by Del Toro. It was, he was just
he's too busy directing the Shape of Water or whatever.
Yeah,
and winning an Oscar.
The shit Shape of Water.
That new Ningyo card.
That new Ningyo card, man. Let me tell you.
I saw someone immediately post a meme that was, "This is what happens when the Shape of Water goes bad." Because it's a Ningyo with a guy in a headlock.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. But Del Toro was
he was like a consultant, probably, right?
Yeah, consultant.
Producer,
it looks
maybe.
Like he served as a producer.
Yeah.
So,
probably did help with the world building.
He's also capturing those babies to give them to Norman Reedus.
Right.
Boyega was also like one of the main directors or producers or something.
Oh, really?
I think you have something pulled up now to look at to say that. But I was pretty surprised.
Producer, yes. It's his producer debut.
Oh, nice. He's probably just a really big fan of the first one.
Yeah, probably.
I heard so. Overall, I recommend it. But it's one of those ones where if
it was made with less budget than the original.
Huh. I wouldn't have guessed that, actually.
The first one was 190 million.
Yeah, my buddy really liked it.
Yeah, the production quality on this was definitely a notch.
I assume like CGI has gotten
better in 5 years
too.
Yeah, right. That's definitely part of it.
Yeah, 411 million is the box office on the first. So we'll see. I guess
I don't think it'll do that much, but it could get
probably
to 300
at this point. Yeah.
Well, how much did you say it was already? 200 and what million?
233, but a lot of box office is from the first weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I might go see it. We'll see.
It's if you don't think it's something you want to see in theaters,
I
and
kinda
think it's
wanna
something you
do.
should rent, I would say.
I mean, it's
Probably something
probably
you
a
should
pretty
rent.
good
If you-
spectacle. Like, if
Yeah,
you,
that's it
for the
would be a
sake
lot
of
more
visuals?
enjoyable. For sure.
Yes, I would say that 100%. Like seeing some of the fights on the big screen is just like, and just like in the movie
the
theaters
sound.
when like the sound just washes over you as the buildings fall, and you're just
something
like,
that
okay.
probably hurt it was or like Ready Player One is another probably hugely visual movie.
Yeah. Which I have
That
no interest in
probably
seeing.
A renter for me just because I usually can't go to theaters, but I made a special concession for this one.
There you go. And it all turned out for you. Look at you.